Hello and welcome. This is PUC Channel 10 News. My name is Jordan Reese and this is Amy Ramos.
Last time on the show, we uncovered the truth about whether or not people can be left brain or right brain dominant. On today's show, we will be discovering whether or not students learn better when teaching styles are matched with their learning styles. Today, we went to a local elementary school where Mr. J teaches his students according to their learning styles. Visual learning is a teaching and learning style in which ideas, concepts, data, and other information are associated with images and techniques. It is one of the three basic types of learning styles. Mr. J is teaching this particular student by showing him the pictures of the shapes he needs to learn.
Auditory learning is a learning style in which a person learns through listening, and auditory learning depends on hearing and speaking as the main way of learning. Auditory learners must be able to hear what is being said in order to understand, and may have difficulty with instructions that are drawn. They also use their listening and repeating skills to sort through the information that is sent to them. Here, Mr. J is teaching his student by explaining and discussing concepts to him. Kinesthetic learning is a learning style in which learning takes place by the students carrying out physical activities rather than listening to a lecture or watching demonstrations. People with a preference for kinesthetic learning are also commonly known as doers. Mr. J is teaching his student by having him tell the story through the use of paper dolls.
Now our field reporter Lexi is going to interview one of the mothers from the local elementary school.
Hello, my name is Alexis Lilly and I will be reporting to you today live from Redwood Elementary School here in Inglewood, California. Today we have with us a local mother.
Hi, my name is Navi. My son is named Henry. He's in the 5th grade here at Redwood Elementary School.
Are you familiar with the three widely discussed learning styles, visual, auditory, and kinesthetic?
Yes, I am. In fact, Henry was just telling me that other day about a quiz that he took in class that was supposed to associate each student with their learning style.
And which learning style did Henry place in?
Henry's test proved that he is a kinesthetic learner, which was no surprise to me. I always knew that he learned much better by learning through activities than learning through visual or sounds.
Have you looked any further into the different learning styles?
In fact, I have. After Henry told me about this quiz that he took in school, I did some research myself and I discovered a book called Discover Your Child's Learning Style. Children learn in unique ways.
After this book, do you believe that it would be helpful for Henry to have a teacher that caters to his personal learning style?
Yes, throughout the book, I kept noticing evidence that supports that students learn better when the teacher matches the context to a child's learning style.
Very interesting, thank you so much. Well, a big thank you to Navi for being here to answer some questions. Unfortunately, this myth seems to be very well supported and is going to take some extensive explaining. Let's head back to the studio.
We have invited two psychologists to help us uncover the truth behind this myth.
Today we have with us Dr. Shepard and Dr. House.
Doctor.
So glad that you could make it today.
Happy to be here. The pleasure is mine.
So, growing up, did you ever believe that you learned according to one of the three different learning styles?
Yeah, I did. I believe that I was a kinesthetic learner when I was younger, which was the reason that I chose to go into the medical field. But as time went by in medical school, I realized that it wasn't true because I had to use more than the three types of learning styles in order to learn everything I had to learn in order to prepare me for what I do today.
You know, doctor, back in my middle adolescent days, I never really saw myself in a specific learning style. I went to school, put in the work, and made adjustments to the way I learned different material. During my days in medical school, I never thought of classing myself in one learning style. I always thought I was equally strong learning visually, audio, and kinesthetically.
So why do you believe that the view on different learning styles is so popular?
Rather than implying that some students are better or worse learners overall than others, it implies that all students can learn well, perhaps equally well, given just the right teaching styles, but in reality, it is just a myth.
Yeah, I agree. It's actually a myth, and it could have started either by word of mouth or my personal favorite, post hoc ergo propter hoc, which is Latin for after this, therefore because of this. So because parents find and see that their child is learning well and doing great in their academics, they believe that the teaching style that the student is being given is working.
I'd like to add on that, Doctor. The media as well misuses the common belief of matching teaching styles to a student's learning style. The media specifically targets mothers of kids who are doing poorly in school.
Interesting.
Additionally, books such as teaching students to read through their individual learning styles attracts to these groups as well.
Mhm.
So exactly does this mean?
The problem here is that teachers are primarily focused on catering to a student's strength rather than his or her weaknesses. Therefore, once they're young adults in their professional fields, they may lack the skills they are weak in as they progress in their field. Overall, they begin to see that not everything is learned to their specific learning styles.
Interesting.
I concur. Instead of helping these students, the teachers are doing more harm than good in the long run. The students feel confident in their academic ability, but by the time they step out into the real world, they soon realize that the world doesn't adjust to their specific learning style.
So this popular belief that matching different teaching styles to different learning styles is an urban legend. Can you explain why this is?
Well, it's not an urban legend because there is some sort of truth to this myth. Some students do learn differently than others. We obviously don't all learn the same. But the problem here is the evidence. Throughout the years, there hasn't been sufficient evidence to prove this statement.
By evidence, we mean that there isn't enough empirical evidence. Research has found that there are two different models for learning styles. For example, you have the VAK model, which is based on learners' preferred sensory modalities, whereas the Honey-Mumford model divides students into activists, reflectors, theorists, and pragmatists, which do not address the three different types of modalities listed in the VAK model. Therefore, there is no agreement in what learning style is despite decades of study.
Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Oh.
Thank you for cracking this myth for us, and let's go back to the studio.
Doctor, after you.
Thank you, Lexi, Dr. House, and Dr. Sheffer for that wonderful interview. My name is Jordan Reese.
And I'm Amy Ramos, signing off for PUC Channel 10 News.
Good night, America.